Chris, you mentioned Baker Mayfield. Baker is an angry camper today.
What else is
I think the Buccaneers want that because Baker, I assume everybody, well, I shouldn't assume with you, Mike. I don't know. You missed some of these movies, but, and Anthony's young, so maybe not, but have you all seen the original White Men Can't Jump?
Yes.
Parts of it, a long time ago.
Oh, Chris.
Yes.
I'm letting you down. I'm sorry.
I'm
terrible.
actually mad that you would assume I hadn't
True,
seen that.
it's a basketball
and you
movie.
barely, I mean, you know Chris, but you don't know Chris that well.
He's older than you, but I guess he's not that much older.
What, 30,
Wow.
I mean, he's way older than me, let's be honest.
Oh,
What,
wow.
5 years?
No, like, what, 2? You're 35?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm 35.
Yeah, it's way older.
Have you seen the original White
That's a
Man
real
Can't
adult,
Jump?
I'm still a child.
No, I have not, boys.
I wouldn't call
Ask
myself
Steve
an
if he's
adult.
seen it.
No, Steve has
You
not
think
seen it.
director Steve's seen the original White Men Can't Jump?
I mean, what am I dealing with here, folks?
Me. You and me here, Bull. You and me.
Chris, that's a
I'm
major
sorry.
failure.
I know.
I mean,
I have no words. I let you down.
you have to watch it immediately. The original.
The
remake was okay.
It was fine. The original one
But you
is-
have to watch
yeah,
the original
yes.
with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson.
Terrific.
Okay,
All right.
it's on Apple TV, but it's also $2.99 on Apple TV. I already pay for the Apple TV.
And
Why
I
can't
will,
I just
I
watch
will
it?
pay
I mean,
you.
it's $3,
I'll
man.
pay you
but
the
why
$3.
can't I just
I
watch
will
it? I
pay you
already
the
pay
$3.
for
Yeah,
Apple TV.
Mike and I will chip in to pay you
All right,
the
I'm not
$3.
going to go down this rabbit hole.
Grant
Go ahead.
Delpit's hold-in fine will go to paying for
Yeah.
Chris Rankle and Anthony's ability to watch
Now,
the original White Men Can't Jump.
I saw pieces of it
No,
a
it's
long time
unacceptable.
ago.
You have to
so-
watch the whole
Or-
thing.
I know
Earl
there's
would
a
like to know-
Jeopardy thing in the end, things that start with Q
Yeah.
and Woody Harrelson.
You're going to Maui next week. You're on
Rosie
vacation.
Perez.
You have to watch
Watch
this
it.
on the plane.
Okay.
I will
Watch
pay.
it with your wife. She'll
Yeah.
love it too. It's so funny.
It's a great movie.
It's a great
We will
movie.
pay to get you access to this
okay,
on the plane.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this movie is great. The reason I bring it up is because Wesley Snipes or Woody Harrelson's character tells Wesley Snipes he's being obnoxious at this tournament, and Wesley Snipes is getting ticked off, and Wesley Snipes grabs Woody Harrelson and says, "What are you doing? You're embarrassing me." He's like, "No, you play better when you're angry." Right? That was a big scene in the movie.
That was a long way to get to a point that
Yes.
is very, very applicable to Baker
Yes,
Mayfield. By
yes,
the way,
yes.
that whole
But it was worth
the
just-
whole side tangent
just
was
for that.
worth it because that is a great
It's a
reference.
great movie and it's a great comparison.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield plays better when
Yes.
he's angry, or at least that's the perception of
Yes.
him, is that when he feels like he's being slighted,
He plays his best.
he plays his best. So maybe that's what they're doing here. But I will tell you this. The Browns, a bad organization, to be fair, said Baker wasn't worth the money. Many of us in Cleveland, myself included, agreed with that, even though we knew he was a good player. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they've been a better organization than the Browns. I'm not going to call them a great organization. They haven't been.
They were great with Tom Brady, but that's Tom Brady effect.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the organization was great.
I
It means
agree.
The team
Yeah,
was great.
yeah, agree.
And they've had their times. They've been a good organization at times. I'll say they're a middle of the road organization. Fine, not great, but not bad. Is also telling you, yeah, we like him when he's angry, but they're on some level at least saying you're not worth at least what you think you're worth.
And it's worth mentioning because we skipped the preamble here.
Right.
Baker has not gotten a contract extension from the Bucs.
Yeah.
He wants a long-term deal. He's entering the last year of his season. He had a press conference that
Where he was
started
angry.
30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
These quotes are from Jeremy Fowler. Baker Mayfield, quote, "It's disappointing to not reach a deal, to feel undervalued when you think you've earned it." He went on to say Baker believes the franchise quarterback has heard that as much from the front office. Mayfield confirmed he addressed the team, saying he won't be a distraction, plans to have a huge year, believes in the best shape of his life. Quote, "If you've waited this long to pay your franchise quarterback, it's only going to get worse and more expensive. I'm going to have a big year. It'll cost you less now than it will later."
And I'll say, listen, Baker has never lacked for confidence in himself.
Nope.
He is one of very few, if any, quarterbacks that would make comments like that. And as much as I wasn't a huge Baker guy, I love the confidence, and I love that he is pretty authentic.
He's him, for better or worse.
He is him.
Baker is Baker.
You know, I don't think he's a great quarterback. I never thought he was a great quarterback. I thought he was a pretty good quarterback. I still think he's a pretty good quarterback. He's on that line. I know you mentioned Andy Dalton. I always thought Andy Dalton was the best quarterback below the line of if you're good enough to win with. I think Baker Mayfield's on the line. Time will tell if he's above it or below it. I think Baker, for sure, has to have a great team around. He's not putting the team on his back.
Yeah.
The biggest issue with Baker is he's inconsistent as a player. There are stretches of most seasons where he looks like a top 10 quarterback, maybe even top 5 at times. And then there are stretches of every season where he stinks.
Yep.
And all he does is throw picks, and then we hear about injuries at the end of the year. I don't want to hear about that. All right? He's been too inconsistent. He's turnover prone. He's turned the ball over, I believe, more than almost any other quarterback since he's been in the league. If he's not number 1, he's top 2 or 3. And a lot of the other guys that turn it over a lot, like Goff, certainly Josh Allen, get way more touchdowns than he does, especially Allen.
So would you take him back in the Browns if he hits free agency and the Browns' current quarterbacks don't pan out?
Okay, so
And then, Chris, I want you to answer.
it's a hard question to answer right now. I would be open-minded to it, which I think would surprise a lot of people because I was pushing Baker out the door when he left. And ultimately, I still don't think you're going to win a Super Bowl with him. But let's face it, after Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl with a very, very good team, I mean, Sam Darnold's been, I think, overall better than Baker the last 2 years. But Sam Darnold is not a class ahead of Baker Mayfield.
I agree.
He's on the same level of player, in my opinion. So if Sam Darnold could win one, I could argue that Baker Mayfield could win one if the team was perfect around. Maybe not perfect, might be too strong. Very, very good around him, which Seattle certainly was.
For Darnold.
For Darnold.
I would take it back if he comes back and he is okay with, for better or worse, being a bridge quarterback. Like, hey, you're going to come back. You can have a chance to win. That's great.
Yeah.
But Baker Mayfield is not the future of the Cleveland Browns if he comes back.
There will be some team that will pay him. If he has a big year, some team will pay him more than that. So, listen,
If
I
he has a big year, the Bucs will pay it.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
fine with
Yeah.
this.
I don't think it makes
take him to the Super Bowl. The Bucs will be like, whatever you want.
I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I doubt Baker would want to come back. It ended very badly.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that on the Browns, but definitely a lot of that on
for
Baker.
sure.
He handled the situation poorly, too. But I don't think it makes much sense. I would certainly be open-minded to it. But if I have if the Browns are in position to draft a quarterback that, is the franchise, then there would be no point.
Unless, and this is the if.
Yeah.
If the entire offense, if Concepcion, if Boston, if Judy, if it looks like it's a quarterback away, and yeah, you're going to draft your quarterback next year, but maybe that quarterback is a Fernando Mendoza and has to wait a couple of weeks before he fully can take the reins, I wouldn't mind Baker Mayfield for a year and seeing if this offense really can go,
but that
with the caveat knowing he's not going to be the future.
So hear me out. Because I, in a way, agree with Chris, but I disagree with his end point. If this offense looks good this year and the quarterback, whether it's Deshaun or Shedeur, I think it'll be Shedeur. Let's say they win 6-7 games, right? Not impossible. Certainly not impossible.
Not likely.
But the quarterback's what's holding them back, right?
Yeah.
Like, they played good enough, but we come out of the season saying, hey, if they had better quarterback play, we may have been a playoff team. But you're not drafting in the top 10 now. You have like the 14th, 15th pick. You're not bad enough to get one of the top guys.
I'd consider.
Then I'm kind of all for Baker coming back, being the plug-and-play guy, because the rest of the team, as we talked about earlier, still should have a talented defense, would have all the young pieces offensively. That seems like they're a quarterback away. My caveat to signing Baker in that scenario is, and he would never do this, I want to sign him just 1 year deal, 1 year deal, 1 year deal, which he would never do. But that would be the best way to get the best version of Baker
Your scenario is an
out.
unlikely scenario.
For a lot of reasons.
If they
I
get
get it,
bad quarterback play, they're not going to win 6-7 games.
I'm just saying that's the world where I'd welcome Baker back.
I agree with you in theory, but then listen, Baker's not coming back here. It's not going to happen. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I just would be open-minded to it if the Browns wanted to go down that road. But I can't imagine they would. I can't imagine he would. If he has a good season, he's going to get a good amount of money. Somebody will pay him.
Someone's going to pay him big bucks.
Yeah. Right? I mean, Daniel Jones got paid what?
More than he should.
Yeah.
Would you
and
say
Baker's better than Daniel Jones?
I don't think it's a question.
Yeah. So somebody will pay him. But again, it's like Baker's in that weird middle spot because it's like the top guys, even if they're in discussion to be a top 10 quarterback, you pay them. Whatever. That's what teams do.
Yep.
And if you're below the line, clearly, you might get a decent contract. like Sam Darnold did, whatever. You know, some
Kobe
of these
Brissett
guys,
just got a big deal.
right? Like, but this, you know, you're not getting that big money. Baker's one of those few guys in that weird middle area where.
Who else do you think? I'm just curious. Like, who else do you put in that same?
Well, I would have said Sam Darnold. I would have said. I wouldn't even said Daniel Jones because I think he's more in the Jacoby Brissett category.
Yeah.
Better than Jacoby Brissett. I mean, I think there's a tier between Baker and Jacoby Brissett. I mean, like Baker to me is tier 3, top of tier 3, and Daniel Jones is tier 4. Jacoby's tier 5.
Let me throw some names that you tell me.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, you too, chime in. Where you think these guys rank compared to Baker, like a C.J. Stroud?
Ooh, that's tough.
C.J. Stroud as a rookie, I thought was better than
right
Baker
now.
ever was. Right now, I'd say they're in the same tier.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know what to make of C.J. Stroud right now. He has not played well the last 2 years.
Yeah, Baker's been more consistent, so I'd say Baker better.
If I were the Browns, I'd rather take C.J. Stroud.
Yeah,
because he hasn't been here and he's younger.
But I'm just asking big picture.
And his best was better than Baker, in my opinion. But he's in the same tier right now.
Brock Purdy.
I think Brock Purdy's better.
Brock Purdy's better.
Yeah.
Close? Like, do you feel comfortable paying Brock Purdy that you wouldn't?
I would not want to pay Brock Purdy the top of the line money either.
I wouldn't want to, but the fact that he's gone to a Super Bowl says that you're going to have to, and I'd probably be more okay with paying him more money.
I think I'm not a big Brock Purdy believer, but I think I'm on the lower end of opinion on him. I think when Baker plays his A game, he's better than Brock Purdy. But he doesn't play it consistently enough.
Brock's more consistent.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence.
I take Trevor Lawrence, even though he's very much like Baker.
The good is really good, and the bad is really good.
The bad is bad.
Yeah.
But again, I think his highs are higher, and overall, he's just a more skilled player. I think.
And you can make an excuse.
But I'm nervous. Like I'm not dying to pay Brock Purdy or Trevor Lawrence, and they paid Trevor Lawrence.
You can make an excuse with Trevor Lawrence that he was not in a good position to start his
but
career.
neither was Baker.
Yeah, neither was Baker. Yeah, but I with you, I think Trevor Lawrence's ceiling is much higher. His good is much higher. So
yes, whereas Baker has been in a great situation the last 2 years because the Buccaneers are a decent team that have had very good wide receivers, and they're in a terrible division.
Yeah. Couple more names, just because this is fun.
Yeah, why not?
Jordan Love. I know you're not as high on Jordan Love as others.
I'd still rather have Jordan Love.
Because he's younger?
I'd rather take Jared Love, too. I still think there's more upside with Jordan Love where I think Baker is what he is, which is fine. And I'm not a big Jordan Love guy. I'm not a huge believer in him. And I'd be nervous to extend him, too.
I would take Love. I'll take Baker over Love, but it's close.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think it's close. Yeah. But I would take Love.
Bo Nix?
I would definitely take Bo Nix.
I've known Bo since he was in high school. I'm not
really?
a huge Bo Nix guy. Yeah, Birmingham, Alabama area.
I am so out on Bo Nix. It's the hill. It's the hill I'm going to die. I can't shake seeing.
He's a gamer. He's such a gamer. I don't know. I'd take Baker over Bo.
I mean, he's done a good job with not great talent around him.
He's a gamer.
Yeah. He finds a way, but he's. Yeah. I can't shake seeing him play A&M as a freshman on the field.
Come on.
I'm just telling you,
that's crazy.
I'm being transparent. I cannot shake how bad, and I don't know if you remember because if you were covering Auburn at that time, but when he played A&M and you're on the field and you're watching up close in a perspective that
it's not pretty.
It was the worst quarterback game I've ever seen.
All he's done has been
I know.
Consistent.
He finds a way. He's a gamer. He finds a way.
Me and Ann have gone back and forth on this.
But you guys are kind of making him sound like Tim Tebow.
No.
He's better.
No. I'm saying I'd take Baker over him, but
yeah, I'd take Baker over him.
Bryce Young,
really?
I'd take Baker over Bryce.
Yeah, I'd take Baker.
Baker?
Yeah. I'm out on Bryce. I thought he was going to really become a player last year, and he didn't. He is
better, but he wasn't. Yeah.
He's like, you're always looking to get better if you have Bryce Young.
I think that's all the ones that are in that kind of mid-range
tier. Yeah.
There's guys that are clearly below.
I can't believe you take Baker over Bo Nix.
I take Baker over Bo Nix, yeah.
Bo Nix has been so consistent his first 2 years. With Cortland Sutton's a good player, but what's the rest of the talent they've had there?
I just thought they've won more with their elite level defense, the scheme.
I hear you, but how'd they look when he went out?
Terrible. If they didn't look really good in the game before he played either. Like their offense wasn't.
He's a young quarterback without a ton of talent.
He's not that young. He's not that young.
Well, he's young in terms of experience in the NFL.
I'm saying he's not that young. He's not. He's like, I think he's 20. This is his year 27 season.
But it's his second. It was 2 years in the league.
Here's
I
the
don't care how
difference.
old he is.
Here's the difference to me.
Yeah.
If you take Bo Nix away from Sean Payton and put him on another team, I don't know that he plays that well. I think if you put Baker on another team, he'll give you at least close to what he
Yeah.
can.
I don't agree.
I don't
with
think
that.
it's a giant gap. Like I'm not.
I-
No.
you know,
I fully agree. I take Baker too. I think if you
and he's
put
a
Baker,
Broncos fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have some questions going into this season. If we're going to have another 14 wins, you put Baker on that roster, I think you can guarantee we'd have close to 13, 14.
I think you're out of your mind. You're overrating Baker. You're all overrating Baker.
Maybe.
Or I think
Or-
he's no. I think you guys are underrating
Underrating
Knicks.
Knicks,
He's
okay.
overrating Baker.
And once
That's
again,
how I see it.
I am. You know when you're biased about something.
Yeah.
I am well aware that I
Yeah.
can't shake one particular thing
That's
in
crazy.
my vote, and
But at least you're admitting it.
But no, I'm fully aware.
But what's funny is I have seen more Bo Nix at different spots than you have, and I have the exact same
But
notion
we've
of him.
seen, like, Baker was in Carolina. He was a disaster. I know that was a short stint. And, his last year here was a disaster. And then
Yeah.
everybody makes the injury excuses. Fine. But, like, you're saying you don't think you think Sean Payton, I mean, when Sean Payton was in New Orleans, he didn't make any other quarterback but Drew Brees play well. I mean, like all the other quarterbacks.
Taysom Hill,
What are you talking about?
Jameis Winston had a great start to the season before he got hurt.
That was like 7 games.
Well, you said no, but I just gave you 2 examples.
Jameis Winston had success in Tampa, too.
So Tampa just breeds good quarterbacks, apparently.
30 seasons growing.
I mean, Todd Monken was Jameis's quarterback in Tampa, quarterback coach, offensive coordinator in Tampa. So if you could do that with Jameis.
Throw 30 touchdowns, 30 picks. Was that the year?
No,
or
I don't. I don't believe that,
that was the year before.
That was the year before, yeah. And then Monken came in, so maybe we get 30 for 30 with Shedeur.
No.
Deshaun.
What a ride that would
There's
be.
zero chance that's happening.
It'd be fun.
It would be fun.
And actually, like it would
In
be
the most masochist kind of way.
it would be exciting.
It would be
It's
good,
good
for
from a
content.
fan if you have fantasy football players because the offense is always on the field.
It would actually. All right,
Go ahead, say it.
time out on this
reality?
conversation. G. Bush during a 30-30 season would be must-see appointment television.
Well,
How G would spin both the good and the bad in a 30-30 Shedeur
yeah,
season.
if Shedeur Sanders had a 30-30 season, he would get all the credit from G for the touchdowns and no blame for the interception.
It'd be, I would sign up for that right now. If you told me we're gonna get 30 passing touchdowns from Shedeur, I don't care
Yeah.
if it's 40 interceptions, 30, and not just any of the Browns quarterbacks. If Dylan Gabriel did a 30-30, I'd be in.
I want someone in the stands with a sign, like how they put the K's on
Yeah.
for the strikeouts.
Yeah.
I want one for touchdowns and interceptions, and just keeping
I mean,
track.
this
the
is-
whole
Every
season.
touchdown you put a Shedeur face, and every interception you put Stefanski.
This is, G would probably still blame Stefanski. We'll ask him that when he comes back from vacation next
Yeah, he's
week.
back. He's back Monday. By the way, everyone who's like,
He's in New York for the
G's
week.
literally on family vacation. He had planned this a long time ago. We did not intentionally ask G not to come on the show when training camp started. He planned.
Why
this
would you
vacation.
even respond to that? You
Well, I'm
got to
just tell-
stop doing that.
I'm just telling
The
people.
tinfoil hats are
What
out
kind
there,
of
man.
idiot would believe we
People-
told G not to come on the show for a
People
week?
send any question they have, it gets directed at me. I am the voice of UCSS,
that's
so
just
I
ridiculous.
answer
But why answer questions from stupid people?
because if they ask, it's
G's
an easy
allowed
enough
to go on
question.
vacation.
Well, no one said he isn't. I'm just telling you, we didn't purposely mask and hide G in the back
Oh, my
because they started
God.
training camp. He's on vacation, enjoying some time in New York City with his
He,
wife. And
I
his
can't
family.
wait till he gets back because he and I went.
Have you watched his blogs?
No, I don't watch it. I need to watch it.
He's with his
I haven't
parents
seen it,
and
yeah.
Rosie and his brother.
Well, he
and
does a lot of funny stuff on there.
He had one of it was the
Did he do it at some of the restaurants I sent him to?
they did it at the hotel lobby,
Okay.
and it was his wife who had never been, and Rosie Bush.
Oh, she'd never been to New York before?
No.
Oh my God, that
and
had to be
this
wild.
was a beautiful lobby with a
Yeah.
skyline view of the city.
Yeah.
And Rosie's the best. I love Rosie.
She
We all
is
love
so
Rosie.
funny.
She's hysterical. Go watch it. It's
Was
on.
she overwhelmed by New York?
That would be underselling.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Go watch.
Have you ever been to New York?
I went for the Cavs Knicks, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Was that your first time?
I went as a kid. We
Yeah,
did
yeah.
the tourist stuff as a kid. That was the first time as an adult.
Okay. You grew up.
Cleveland, yeah. I
Cleveland,
grew up on
yeah.
West Side.
Okay. Yeah, but G and I went over all the restaurants, and I just can't wait to see.
I sent him my brother who lives in New York City.
Right,
sent him
right,
a couple of recommendations too.
All
So I'm
right.
curious what he
what he went to.
Yeah.
I'm excited to find out. But we have to bring up this topic of the 30-30, which is
Yes.
not going to happen.
Yes.
But that's how sad things have become. That we have
But
to.
it'd be fun. Like
that
genuinely
we're talking
speaking,
about
it would be
a
fun.
Browns quarterback throwing 30 interceptions as being fun.
If you're not going to win,
You
be
might as well be
entertaining.
interesting. Yeah.
Be
The
interesting,
Browns
be
have too
entertaining.
often been bad and boring.
Yes.
Last 2 years.
Yeah, bad and boring.
Last 2
At
years.
least be like that
interesting.
year with Brian Hoyer. they ended up being bad at the end, but they were
But
fun.
they were interesting for the first.
The Derek
however
Anderson
long.
deal with Josh.
Well, they weren't bad that year. They were good.
They were
Fair,
good that
fair,
year.
fair.
They
Yeah,
were very
yeah,
good that
fair.
year.
But at least
Jim
when
Sorgi.
your offense is good, even if your team stinks, which doesn't happen that often, but it happens occasionally, at least it's a little interesting. But when you can't score and you bad.
Last year was for
Yeah.
example. How many times did we sit on the postgame show? We're
Yeah.
coming on Monday like
It's like,
stuff
ugh.
to watch. And even when
Yeah.
they lost to Tennessee, Shedeur had the 4 touchdowns. They had the
But it was an
blown-
exciting game.
It was a
It was
great game.
entertaining.
Like, obviously,
Yeah.
you wanted them to win, but like
Yeah.
that was a fun game. And then
Yeah.
they beat the Bengals in Week 17 on
And it
2
was a
pick
terrible
sixes,
game.
and they win. And you're like, that game was atrocious.
Yeah.
Now Shedeur led him on the game-winning field goal drive, and they
But
had
he
2
was
pick
way.
sixes.
Shedeur was terrible in that
But
game.
he was terrible in
played
that
great
game and was good
Tennessee
against
game
Tennessee. Yeah,
outside
so
of
it
that
just
one play.